Hello, everyone. This is Phoenix Tremaine, and today I'm going to be giving you some coming and goings from Tyler Perry's Sistas. After Duvall Ellis' big reveal about the changes that have been made on Tyler Perry's Sistas, we now know that there are characters that just aren't going to be on the show anymore. So I'm going to show you that clip real quick, and then I'll be back with more news.
And we found out that TP is no longer writing the scripts for Sistas, and he's hired a writer's room. So the writers took liberties to write their own stories for certain characters, introduce new characters, and dismiss certain characters.
Okay, I'm back. And now that he's revealed Sistas now has a writer's room and they got rid of some of the characters, you have to look at season 6, episode 13 a little differently. Now that we know characters are leaving, scenes from episode 13 seem like final episodes for some of the characters, beginning with Kevin A. Walton, who plays Aaron Carter. When Aaron said goodbye to Karen, it felt real. It's not to say he won't come back, but for now, it looks like that they are done with Aaron. Also, it is rumored that Jason Weaver's new character, Brian, will be Karen's new love interest since he's the new contractor that's going to fix up Karen's salon. He also thanked in an interview Ebony Obsidian, who plays Karen, and Angela Beyonce, who plays Pam, for being welcoming to him on the show. We also have another person who looks like he did his final scene, and that is going to be his name is McEnroe Alexander, who plays Q. It also looked like the end of the road for Q, with Sabrina and Maurice's story quickly wrapping up. With the DA no longer wanting to press charges, Q was quickly arrested, and that will probably be the end of that. Now, I've seen on a different website that I'm not sure if they got good information or not, that Maurice is going to have a new love interest. So, he's not going to be feeling bad for Q no more. He's going to have probably a whole new set of problems. Moving on to Ellis E. Fowler, who plays Bayo. In the same token, now that Bayo and Sabrina basically broke up and he said he was done with her, all he wanted was his bail money back. We now know that the DA dropped the charges, so there's really no need for him to see Sabrina or Maurice again because he's going to get his money back. And if he doesn't, after the whole thing where he was like showing that Sabrina viewed him as a stereotype and she didn't really know him, and he was done with her. So Bayo exiting because he saw how Sabrina viewed him, is probably the last time we'll see a Bayo. Now, we also have Alfonso Spigner as Logan. With the conclusion of this story, there's a good chance Logan is gone too. They already abruptly ended his pairing with Danny. So do you remember a while back, they had him and Danny as an item for a hot second before he saw that Danny was at the restaurant with Sabrina and Bayo, and he was investigating that trafficking case, and he immediately had to get out of there. So that's why I felt like Logan was really coming after Sabrina hard the way he was, because he was building a case up against Bayo. But, with them seemingly dropping that, the new writers dropping that whole story arc, it looks like Bayo and Logan are going to be gone, and they're not going to actually tell his trafficking story anymore. At least that's what it looks like to me. And so we're going to move on now to an honorable mention. He wasn't even in the episode, but a lot of fans, when they found out that Duvall said that some actors were leaving, the top of the list was Calvin. So Anthony Dalton, who plays Calvin Rodney, many fans have speculated that Calvin is next. Sabrina has questioned her compatibility with him since the very beginning, and it's been 6 seasons now. Are we going to get another season of Izzy or isn't he? Because clearly, when Sabrina was in that restaurant with Danny and she met this new character, Rich, she was looking him all up and down, and he used to play ball, and that's right up her alley. That is right up Sabrina's alley. So, are we going to get a new triangle between Rich, Sabrina, and Calvin? Or are these new writers ready to just move on because they have added some new characters to the show? The girls have gotten new love interests. So we've got Jordan, well, starting with Tony on the left, a little starker for Danny. We got Jordan, the guy who had his heart broken, that's trying to try again. And Rich, we don't know much about him other than he ran up giving Tony a big old hug, and Danny gave him the side eye. So we have these new triangles that they're building: Tony, Dan, and Preston as this new entanglement. And I noticed in this picture that Tony has a briefcase, so where it made it look like that maybe him and Danny may have been at the same level at the airport, it looks like, maybe Tony may be an executive. He may be a higher up, because we know Preston has money. So this would give them sort of like a run for the money, of Danny having an option of having a guy that also has money and he's black, because that's one of the reasons why Danny was resisting being with Preston, because he didn't really feel like he understood her culturally. We also have this other triangle that they showed us in the trailer for this season, where we also have Andy, Jordan, and Gary. No word on if we'll ever see Robin again, because I know a lot of people have mentioned Robin, where's Robin? Because they totally dropped the ball on Robin. But, remember, Robin was real freaky. He wasn't necessarily interested in just Andy. And, he definitely told her that if we're together, we're going to be doing like three at a time. So certain things you can't say on YouTube. But y'all know what I'm talking about. You can look at the picture and see. But we also have Gary. When fans learned that that they were potentially letting people go, even though I think Cheeto is a good actor, Cheeto plays Gary. Even though I think he plays a good actor, I think that a lot of fans are just tired of Gary when he started off with his crazy wife, with Andy and him having an affair and all the drama that, came from that situation that they were in. Who could ever forget him hugging her to RIP? At least that's what it seemed, because these Tyler Perry cliffhangers. But yeah, that whole hugging thing, I personally was ready for Gary to go after that, because it was too much. It was too much. And what about his latest peeping Tom Gary? Yeah, so Gary and Andy had been through a lot. And because really that relationship is very toxic, and I don't really see them. Oh, I forgot. There was one other thing: his questionable relationship with his therapist. We can't forget that, because you got the hugging, you got the therapist, you got the wife, and you got the peeping Tom, Gary. So I really feel like Gary should have been moved on to maybe another woman on the show, and maybe try to make Andy jealous or something like that. But her continuing to take back this toxic relationship is not, fun to watch 6 seasons later. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about Andy and Gary. Are you ready for round 17? Was the hugging your breaking point? Or, just tell me all the things in the comment section, what you think about uh, Tyler Perry actually getting new writers, getting a writer room, and letting people go, as well as, bringing new people on. So in Calvin and Gary were the first few people that I saw in the comment section, where people were saying on Twitter, X, or whatever you want to call it, that they thought they were the first to go. we already know Gary's not one of them because he's in the trailer for the season. But what about Calvin? Are you excited that Gary is going to continue on the show? Do you want Calvin to continue on the show? So just go ahead and tell me all the things that you of who you wish would stay or leave on the show. And I'm going to go ahead and see you in the comment section or the next video. Thanks for watching.